Amanda is here again. She did work on The Room because she's a star. I didn't do work on The Room.
Because she had work and then a migraine.
Yeah, that's true. But we did watch another Netflix film. So MoviePass is kind of crashing badly. And as a result, they've really limited their showings, which means that we can't really go to MoviePass movies. So MoviePass may become a thing of the past. But it does mean that I'm watching more Netflix films. So today we watched a Netflix original film called Tao. Spoilers abound, clearly. But as I told Amanda, once the movie was over, it is clearly a love story between girl and machine masquerading as a suspense film. Do you feel that's accurate?
I mean, I don't know if I would call it a love story. It explores the relationship that people have with their creators, I would say.
And also, like, it could just be, like, really strong friendship love, not necessarily romantic. Like, she doesn't want to get it on with the machine, but they're definitely, like, besties by the time it's over.
They care deeply for one another.
Mm-hmm. The general premise of this film is that a girl gets kidnapped and she wakes up in this tech genius's house where he is conducting some sort of strange experiment trying to map her brain, but has determined that clearly the best way to map brains is to terrify people.
Yeah, fear creates a stronger algorithm.
Mm-hmm. And he lives in a fancy smart house that consists of Tao, who is like a triangle on the wall. That's his interface, and he runs the whole house.
He's like an AI butler.
Mm-hmm. Like a Jarvis sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he has a ton of little drones that do his bidding. And then there's also Ares, who is another triangle. They're really into triangles.
It's a futuristic shape.
Mm-hmm. And this triangle unfolds into a killer robot. And when she's initially captured, there are two other people, but we murder them almost immediately. Because the story is not about the love between a computer and three people. It is about the love between a girl and a computer. So we gotta get rid of the fluff. So she's super smart without being actually intelligent.
She's street smart.
Yeah.
She's had to make it on her own.
Mm-hmm. And so she
just wants to go to music college.
She does really want to go to music college. They're a little heavy-handed with this. So she goes out on the street, she comes home, and she touches
music
this.
College. I just got that. Sorry.
She touches the post, like a little pamphlet on her fridge that says music college. And then Tao, the rich guy, his name is Alex. Well, his name is really like
Thomas Alexander
something.
Upton,
yes, you're right. Thomas Alexander Upton. God, that doesn't sound like a terrible
pretentious
name.
rich guy.
Yeah, or a psychopath. And he brings Tao music because he knows Tao likes music. And we were like, oh, so they have a connection.
I just got that like right now. I had forgotten about music college until right now.
And so she figures out how to escape from the cell. She helps everyone else escape, but then, Ares kills the other two because we don't need them. But she has sort of figured out what's going on, and so she negotiates with Alex to get things like clothes and food and free time.
And showers.
Because she realizes that he needs her brain in order to complete this project that, like, his bosses are really or his board of directors, I guess, because he is sort of the boss, are, like, really hounding him about. And then over the time that he's gone away to wherever he goes during the daytime, and I'm not sure where that is because his board just constantly complains that he never comes into the office, but he does vanish for like the entire day.
And we find out that his house is in the middle of like no
Nowhere.
Infrastructure. It's just like fields and trees and mountains.
Yeah, he must be in Kansas.
There's not another person to be seen.
And so he leaves and she hangs out with Tao. And it starts off with Tao being like, all right, you got to do those things that he said you got to do. But they start talking and she tells him about the world and they talk about music, and she reads him books, and they start to form a bond. And it's kind of beautiful because Alex comes back and he like gets upset with Tao for things that he shouldn't be doing, and like to punish the program, he erases his memories.
Because the memories is all that Tao is comprised of. So he's essentially erasing part of Tao's being, his existence, as a punishment.
Yeah, and it's pretty horrific, actually.
It is. He screams.
Yeah, he screams and like you feel for him. But Julia, who is our main character, realizes that like when Tao is being erased, Ares turns off, which gives her an opportunity to escape. And she takes advantage of this, like up until the point where she actually is almost escaping. But she hears Tao being erased and like screaming, and she comes back to save him. And that's the moment that it became a love story. Because
she has so much empathy.
Yeah, so much empathy for a computer program
that she doesn't escape.
And then she comes back and it turns out Tao is basically erased anyway, so she's gonna have to start all over.
Yeah. Alex has erased so much of Tao that he no longer remembers Juliet, who's been there for about 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was 14 days originally that the project was doing. But in the end, our hero triumphs, because that's the way it should be. She outsmarts Alex and cuts off his hand to use it to get out of everywhere. And then she takes a little drone that has Tao's operating system in it out into the world so that she can show him outside, because he's never been allowed to leave. And it's a very heartwarming ending, you know? Our lovers ride off into the sunset. Amanda's not gonna buy into this. She doesn't feel that romance. She's against robots and humans being together.
I don't have a response to that. The only thing that comes to mind when she said that was that subplot, that like plot arc in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, with the bot.
With Buffy bot.
Yes. Yeah, okay, so maybe it's not quite like that. Yeah, but it ended up being an uplifting film. I thought it was well done. I enjoy Netflix original films. I feel like they do interesting things. It's maybe not the greatest plot-wise, like it was pretty wildly predictable.
It's very heavy-handed as well. It was like, do you not obey your creators?
Yeah, and
Says
clearly
and
she was abused as a child.
Right,
and
they established several times over that she has experienced a lot of trauma.
And there were some weird things that I didn't understand, like why he was sort of maybe extracting memories from her early on, because like we were reliving her memories when she was sitting in that chair. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of the thing in the back of her neck was.
It was to like scan her brain and like get all of her readings.
Yeah, and like what that was going to eventually do. But it's okay because that didn't matter, because it was neither about the girl nor the AI she was in love with, so it was a relevant filler. If you like interesting sci-fi, I would say that this is worth checking out. I thought that the visuals were really cool.
Very strong color choices.
I liked fun lighting, and there's a lot of fun lighting in this. The way that they light the house and the way that they light Tao as well. I really want a wall covered in a, what does he say, nano...
Smart paint.
Yeah, nanopolymer with... He just explains it really complicated.
Techno jargon that probably doesn't actually make sense.
But I want that. She can just draw on the wall. Also, she's really good at drawing circles. Like, she drew the earth, and it was like a perfect circle. I was flabbergasted.
Sarah Michelle Gellar can do that and just like draw a circle.
It's a talent. I don't have it. So check out the movie if you want to. And I'm sure that Amanda and I will probably watch other Netflix movies in the future.
Probably. I'm going to be here a lot.
And we'll see you tomorrow.